The hourglass rehearsal is basically the most common rehearsal. Again, you'll see why I majored in music. That's an hourglass. Do you know what an hourglass is? I don't think some of the young students even know what an hourglass is. You know, they turn the sand runs through. So this is macro, micro, macro. That should be the form of your whole rehearsal. That should be the form of how you rehearse a piece. That should be the form of how you rehearse a section. So in other words, as far as a whole rehearsal, start with a large chunk of music or start with a whole piece. Work on something, end with something, either end with what I worked on or end with something they know how to play. You know how, little kids, oh, can we play the, Miss, can we play the, right? Okay, we'll do that at the end of rehearsal. Because the thing is you want to end with everybody playing. As rehearsing, let's say I'm going to rehearse George Washington Bridge. So I play the opening, the whole opening. I go, ah!
How many band directors does it take?
So I rehearse the opening. Then I go back, I play through the opening, then I go back and rehearse the brass. Then I go back and check the third trumpet. Then I go back and rehearse the brass. Then I go back and play the whole opening. A lot of people rehearse like this. Brass, play. Trumpets, play. Third trumpets, play. Brass, play. You got to build it back into the setup. If you're isolating one part, you discovered that one part here. So then you need to go back and bring that back and then bring the whole thing back. Make sense? A lot of people rehearse like this. No, go back to the beginning. No, go back to the beginning. No, go back to the beginning. A lot of people rehearse like this and they keep rehearsing until it gets better on its own. That's not rehearsing. Nothing is worse than being in a rehearsal that ends like this. You ever been there? Yeah. Let's hear the opening. Clarinets. Third clarinets. Billy and Susie. Billy. This is when maybe you tell Billy that shop would be an option. But you get to this point. Now, meanwhile, this was clarinets. Meanwhile, brass and percussion haven't played. And then when you get here, you go, Billy, could you play that? And all of a sudden the bell rings and everybody leaves. If you ask any of my students, when I'm rehearsing a piece, they'll see me look. We have a clock in the back of the rehearsal room. When we're rehearsing, I'll look back at the clock and I'll say, okay, at the end of rehearsal, go back to, and if we start at bar 113, then that's where we start. And we play from 113 to wherever we just stopped to recap the whole thing. And everybody's playing and everybody's going, and we end with some kind of affirmation. So it could be a variety of those things. It can be from play a piece they know, work on a piece they're working on, play a piece they know, to what I just said. Work on a big section, work on the implementation of all the little bits of the section, come back and play the whole section again. That's a better pace rehearsal.